Sutjeska. I had promised myself that I'd never go back. The last time I was here, in June of 43, I saw brave men and women defend their homeland with ingenuity and courage, only to be massacred for their trouble. And the first thing I learned upon arrival was that Savo had been killed. Heroically, of course, but that meant so little to me at that point. Tommy and I were the last of the pilots McIntyre had recruited for his RAF Balkans squadron. Even in person, he wouldn't tell us his long-term goal. We were merely performing exercises, the sort that inevitably led to the death of one or more of the participants. I let the missions distract me from the aching I felt inside. For Tommy, McIntyre's squadron was a chance to continue his drink-fueled crusade against the so-called Third Reich. We fell into routine and slowly began to loosen up.
Steady as she goes, Dee Dee. An old People's Liberation Army landing strip should be up ahead.
Understood. Sutjeska, all those people.
Put it out of your head, girl. Watch for hackers.
Tommy, enemy fighters.
Bloody hell, I'm taking flak. The resistance must have lost control of the airstrip. See if you can stop these bastards taking off. That looks like the last of them. But they had plenty of time to radio for help. We better skedaddle. Let's split up.
That's probably wise. Be careful.
I always am.
Tommy, do you read me? I've got trouble.
I've contacted McIntyre. He's sending his RAF squadron. You stay alive, you hear? Do what you do best and bloody survive. I'm on my way.
In your own time.
Did the Mademoiselle request an escort?
Think of it more as saving them from me.
I don't think they'll be pleased to see my new friend. Take that, nasty pigs. Any more? I'm just getting started.
I think that's enough for one day, Tommy.
Bake. That's good to see you. We're finally pushing back at the Hun front line. We'll prize Belgrade from his filthy claws yet. I want you to cripple their transport network. Put a dent in their supplies, you know.
Understood. Bridges, bombs, I know the drill.
Easy there, DD. They'll be at us, so fly safe.
En route to the second. Those bridges are down.
Excellent. The last bridge is a bit tricky, I'm afraid. Reinforced against aerial bombing. We've got a truck packed with explosives to sort that out.
But
The scouts tell us there's a Nazi tank platoon in the area. We need you to find and destroy it before the truck can roll out.
I'm in the area now.
Blast it! The truck's set off already, bloody amateurs! You'll need to work fast. Find those tanks before the trucks arrive.
That's all the tanks.
Nicely done. The truck should have a clear run to the bridge now.
Wait! German bombers! Incoming!
Damn it! They're onto us. Put those bastards down before they hit the truck.
The truck made it, Tommy!
Then Jerry should be enjoying a nice firework display.
Now that was an explosion. The bridge is dust, Tommy.
We're trying the same trick for the rail bridge, with a bomb train.
More bombers, Tommy.
It is imperative that the train survives to reach the bridge.
Trains on the bridge.
That was the sound of the German logistics being crippled. Good noise. Good show, De Beck. Bloody good show.
Soviet armor! This is actually happening! We're reclaiming Belgrade!
Concentrate. The buggers are cornered. They're still dangerous. McIntyre's trusting us with this one. You're his secret weapon. The RAF Balkans boys will draw fire while you slip in and do the damage. That's the plan. That artillery's the first problem. Hit the artillery and deal with any hackers and fighters that you can. there's a sight. Soviet tanks in Belgrade. Those bloody Nazis don't stand a chance.
Do you remember Dukla Pass, where the Russians were held back politically?
This isn't the time, Dee Dee. It's a different situation.
It's exactly though. Tommy, enemy planes incoming.
Dee Dee, protect those tanks. We can't lose them now. Nice work, Dee Dee. Looks like the tide is turning. Partisan resistance fighters are advancing on the Parliament building. Maybe we can help. Stick with Nazis. Let's give the ground troops a hand and clear them out a bit.
On my way.
Bloody hell. I think we did it. The Nazis are retreating. They're abandoning Belgrade. We should follow them all the way back to Berlin and finish the bloody lot of them. Good idea, Carter. Let's do just that. You're kidding me. Hey, fellas, drinks are on me.
It was difficult to believe we were actually at the outskirts of Berlin. The RAF Balkans men couldn't have been happier. We'd all lived through the filthy, brutal conflict with one thought buried deep inside, that one day, the war must end. I didn't share the general elation. In 41, I had been a carefree whiskey smuggler with a powerful sense of entitlement. By 45, Dorothy de Beck was a very different woman. I felt I was taking someone else's path through life, walking a road with two branches, one that had been chosen by McIntyre, the other by Night Owl. But somewhere, I must have taken a very wrong turn. In Azerbaijan, Yugoslavia, Poland, I couldn't quite remember. All wars must end, that seemed clear, but so many people had died. I felt an eerie chill in my bones. Surely such a monumental conflict could not end without one final blood sacrifice. It
Must be a pleasant surprise to meet an old friend, de Beck.
How have you been, Captain Edwards? Where did we last see one another?
Sudieska, drowning in blood. Summer of 43. You're as enchanting as ever.
Ooh, this war has aged me 20 years. Are you here to observe?
You'll be parachuting the captain directly into the lion's den, de Beck. Intelligence is a dangerous game, eh, Edwards?
True. The war's aged me 30 years, Dee Dee. I'm only 15, you know. Far too young to die.
The trick, de Beck, to dropping secret agents in the enemy's capital is to stay unseen. There'll be no support if you're spotted.
Just for the record, chaps, I'm not a secret agent. I prefer the term professional mischief maker.
Then I'd better drop you somewhere mischievous.
Bit of a bumpy ride, but I've had worse. Thanks for the company, Dee Dee.
My pleasure, mon ami. Take care.
That's enough flirting, Dee Dee. Get back to base. Welcome home, Dee Dee. That was a bloody good run. Let's hope Errol Flynn there can get the job done. Those cowardly Nazi officers are trying to escape. Our spies say the first one will be heading to a secret airfield near the Reichstag and Brandenburg Gate. Let's make sure he never leaves Germany.
Approaching the airfield now. There's a plane leaving the tarmac. It must be German brass.
Blow him out of the sky.
Roger.
those Messerschmitts. Looks like they're armed with rockets. Down you go, you bastard. There'll be one less pig at the trough tonight. Don't put your feet up yet, Didi. Another general is making a break for it. He's taking a staff car through Berlin. He's headed for the station in a convoy, Didi. Stop him before he reaches that train. There'll be heavy AA cover, so be careful.
How will I know which car he's in?
You won't. Hit 'em all.
Convoy destroyed, Tommy. The general won't be catching that train whether it runs on time or not.
Hold up. More generals are being flown out in bombers. 3 of them this time. High ranking from the sounds of it. I've got this one. Can you handle the others?
No problem, Tommy. Let's finish this. Tommy, the first bomber is down. How are you doing?
Don't worry about me. You just concentrate on that second bomber.
Second bomber destroyed, Tommy. Where are you?
I'm taking hits, but I'll be fine. Get yourself back to base.
I see you, Tommy. Get out of there. I can finish him off.
No, he's too far away. My guns are jammed, but I won't let him get away.
Tommy, no. I'm on my way!
Dee Dee, listen to me. Talk to McIntyre. He knows the truth about your father.
What? You're breaking up, I can't hear you!
I have to leave you now, Dee Dee. I'm so proud of you. I think this is him. I can't let him get away.
Tommy! No! No! The thought of losing Tommy had crossed my mind 100 times. Every time we took to the sky, there was the chance that one of us wouldn't come back. But it seemed so impossible. Tommy had always been there. No matter how selfish or bad-tempered I had been as a girl, Tommy always had been exactly where I needed him. He was more important than the sky to me. Now he was gone and I was truly, utterly alone. I cried. I was numb. Berlin burnt around me as I tried to find some tiny fragment of my life to cling to. But there was nothing left but ashes. It was only later that I realized that Tommy had always been my father. Guillaume de Bec was just a story. I had followed that story across the world, and Tommy had been with me every step of the way. It was so obvious. Tommy, I'm so sorry. You were my father, and I love you. There was one thing left to do, to see how the story ended. Tommy had told me that McIntyre knew the truth, so I challenged him. His proud demeanor instantly evaporated, and his shoulders slumped with the relief of knowing he could finally unburden himself. He must have been waiting to do so since that first day we had met in Tobruk.
What do you know of Egyptian politics, Dee Dee? Forgive me for being patronizing, but I shall assume you know very little. After the Great War, Egypt was still a British protectorate, firmly under the guiding hand of the Empire. Of course, the locals weren't always happy about this arrangement. There had been dissent, nothing the politicians couldn't handle. But after we exiled Saad Zaghloul, a rabble-rousing firebrand, the mood turned decidedly ugly. Revolution was in the air, and I was asked to try and nip it in the bud. Discreetly, of course. It's my speciality. We knew where some of the more prominent agitators lived. Bombing them flat was far too messy. But there were other methods open to us.
You were carrying chemical weapons?
As per Peterson's letter, yes. Our mission was quite simple. Escort the bombers carrying an experimental concoction and ensure they delivered their payload to the target.
This wasn't a military target, was it?
There is no such thing as a non-military target, lassie.
My father would have had no part in such a cowardly attack.
What makes you so sure? You never knew the man.
I just know.
Sadly, your instincts are right. De Bec had been erratic for some time, especially where this sort of mission was concerned. I suspect father had rather changed his outlook. Suffice to say, he kicked up quite a stink when he saw the target was a civilian village.
Of course he did. What you were planning was no better than the Nazis.
You are as naive as he was. A soldier's job is to follow orders, nothing more. Leave the moral quandaries to those who see the bigger picture. Your father opened fire. He attacked his own planes. Pilots he knew, his comrades.
He was doing what was right. If the gas had been dropped, that would be mass murder.
No, he was insane. He disobeyed direct orders and attacked his own squadron. Death was too good for him.
It was you.
Please understand, Dee Dee. I took no pleasure in my actions, any more than I would have taken pleasure in dropping gas on women and children.
You murdered him! You shot him down!
Just as he shot down his fellow pilots. just as you have shot down so many fathers and sons, brothers and husbands. War is an engine of necessity that makes killers of us all. That is what your father could never understand, Didi. If you think you can emerge from battle without blood on your hands, you are as much a fool as he was.
I know you don't like me, Didi, but I hope a hardened pilot like yourself would understand that there's no easy decisions in war. I'll be leading this mission myself. Can I count on you to follow orders?
You can count on nothing, McIntyre. But I have no intention of walking away from this battle. I will fight, but for my own reasons.
I see. I suppose I can ask for nothing more than that. Get in the air and await further orders. The Russians are taking the Reichstag. Germany will have no choice but to surrender. You'll be providing air support and keeping the skies clear of enemy fighters.
I think I can manage that, to end the war. All enemy fighters destroyed.
Not yet. There's another squadron coming in.
That's the last of them. What's happening on the ground?
The Russians are reporting good progress. Stay focused. There are more fighters inbound. The Nazis aren't giving up yet. It looks like the Germans are sending jet fighters our way. This complicates matters considerably.
Worry about your own flying, McIntyre. I know what I'm doing.
It looks like the Germans are sending jet fighters our way. This complicates matters considerably.
Worry about your own flying, McIntyre. I know what I'm doing.
Done it, De Beek. The Reichstag has fallen. The Nazi High Command is in tatters. All that I have fought for.
Forgive me if I don't feel like celebrating.
After all you've seen, I'd hoped you would have gained a little perspective on such matters.
And what of a soldier who kills his comrades? What sort of soldier is he?
I see your girlish weakness hasn't quite been erased by your training. No matter. We'll clear the air once and for all, back on the ground. With a stiff drink.
I'd sooner die of thirst than drink with you, you callous monster.
Enemy fighters, out for revenge. Snap out of it, De Beek. I need support.
Support? You? You and your kind? English, German, Russian. It doesn't matter. You throw people to the flames and justify it to yourself with pompous political abstractions. I should leave you here to die, or shoot you down myself.
Damn you, girl. How many pilots have you killed? If you don't help me, you'll have your petty revenge, but you'll be making the same bloody decision I had to. Thank you, Dee Dee. I'll see you get a medal. A commendation.
Keep your precious trinkets, McIntyre. I'm no murderer. I learned that in Azerbaijan. Come near me again, however, and I will not think twice. So the war had ended. Apparently we won. The newspapers declared it a victory, but all I could see was relief etched into faces drawn too thin, too haunted by years of suffering to cheer and smile. I take solace in the fact that Tommy and Clive, and all the many others who fell along the way, did not die in vain. I couldn't see it at the time, but now I realize that what seemed like horrific, senseless acts were small, painful steps along a necessary road. And I was not alone for long. Captain John Edwards and I found ourselves in the rubble of Berlin, dazed by the abrupt advent of peace. At first, I was just glad of a pair of arms to fall into. I think he was too. But before we knew what was happening, we were married and building a future together. I think Tommy would have approved. He liked John when they met. I think he reminded Tommy of Guillaume, a more sober version of Guillaume, perhaps. I miss you, Tommy, and Clive, and Ivana, and all you others. Perhaps I should raise one final toast to the memory of those horrible, incredible times after all. Tally-ho, into the drink again.